Estoy cansado. Necesito una siesta. The night before had been spent wide awake, shivering in the center seat of a red-eye flight from LAX to San Jose, Costa Rica. And 18 hours before, I had just met the people who would become my cultural lighthouse for the next 5 weeks as I drifted off into a sea of Tico culture and pura vida. But right this moment, I was left to my own devices. My host mom, Yorleni, who was very sweet and extremely accommodating, was also very Spanish fluent and monolingual. Yorleni kindly took my luggage and showed me my new room, then left me to do what I had been dreaming about for hours: sleep. When I awoke, the crisis I had felt upon arriving felt much more manageable, and I could hear the distant voices of Jorge, David, and Ariana, Yorleni's children and husband, who she assured me hablan inglés. They welcomed me, and we all sat down for lunch. After lunch and basic conversation, aided by Ariana's translation, we moved to the living room and became absorbed into the television, which was airing a very dramatically dubbed version of Another Cinderella Story with Selena Gomez. That bizarre feeling of culture shock had begun to wear away, and I started to feel confident in this new, slightly different version of normal. Oh, okay, this is Costa Rica, I thought to myself. It's basically the same, but like someone switched the language setting on me. Everything was making sense. Then, as if the universe conspired to trip me up, I heard something come out of the speakers of the television. A handsome host walked out onto the stage. Balancing on silt-like heels next to him was a woman who was wearing the lowest cut shirt I had ever seen. They gestured towards 3 flamboyant individuals, appearing to be aging celebrities, seated behind a desk. Judges, I presumed. So far, I recognized the scene before me. This talent show format was one I've seen many times before. The handsome host then bellowed out another, "Bienvenidos!" and out came a dozen or so young 20-somethings, dressed up like they were going to spring break in Jersey Shore, circa 2005, on MTV. Then, one couple took the stage and prepared to dance. The bump of the music started, and I soon realized that this was something I hadn't seen before. I mean, I recognized the dancing, but not from primetime television. It was some rhythmless gyrating, reminiscent of middle schoolers, hopped up on sugar, prepubescent hormones, and the inspiration of 50 Cent's latest music video. The concept of dancing was brought down to the basics. There was a lot of jumping and shaking and rubbing of bodies together. I was shocked. When it came down to the judgment of the dancer's performance, I was expecting a bloodbath. I was expecting Simon Cowell to scoff and ask if they were joking. I was expecting Len Goodman's refined British accent kicking them out for degrading the dance floor. I was expecting 4s and 5s at best. Then something strange happened. I heard the words elegante and genial. The judges were grinning from ear to ear, and the contestants were jumping up and down, hugging each other. The judges' cards read 8, 9, and 10. I looked over at my host family for reassurance, only to find them nodding along with the dancers. They were amused, but not in the same way I was. And so my bewilderment continued throughout the evening, one raunchy dance after another, followed by standing ovations and great praise. I couldn't wait to tell my American friends at school the next day about my host sister's favorite show, Color de Reggaeton. We sat around the lunch table, and I tried to explain the spectacle I had witnessed the day before, and my friend Krista chimed in, "I watched that with my host dad, too." Then next to her, Cassie said, "I think I saw that playing on the TV while my host mom was cooking dinner." Apparently, Color de Reggaeton was prime-time family viewing. And then I realized something. We were being kind of prude. I had always heard about the backwards prejudice between sex and violence in the United States, how our movies are rated at a sky-high rating for nudity, but death and destruction barely gets a second glance. I thought about TV shows that I had watched with my family after dinner. Shows like The Walking Dead and CSI. Yet, the night before, I had been sitting with my host siblings, who were 15 and 17, thinking, this is inappropriate. After watching a few episodes, I learned that the show was entirely Costa Rican, which I found interesting when taking into consideration that the entire country is the size of West Virginia. There is a lot of pride behind the cultural fusion of the Caribbean-style reggae and the Latin-style salsa, and in my opinion, a little bit of Miley Cyrus-style twerking. Once I moved beyond my ethnocentric mindset and stopped expecting to see something that would air on a Thursday night in the United States, I really began to enjoy the program. It was one of the countless strange and foreign things that I learned to love about Costa Rica, and definitely something I will never forget.